so our last session for today is going to be FLL Explore COVID safety discussion, coaching tips, and first resources. So we have a few panelists with us today. We have Bhasin. She's the founder of Wize Computing Academy, which has 10 franchises in the US and Canada. It's her third year coaching FLL Explore, and she also coaches FLL Challenge. Her team last year received the Best Robot Design and Strategy Award, which qualified them for the state championship. We have Vega, who joined us on the last call. He's been coaching FLL Explore for 3 years and has spent years as a rogue electrical engineer, but switched his career 6 years ago to become a teacher and is currently teaching kindergarten at William A. Blair Elementary School in Dallas ISD. And then we have Urbina, who is a teacher and robotics coach at William M. Anderson Elementary School in Dallas ISD. And this is his second year coaching an FLL Explore team. So thank you guys so much for taking this one. I know it's a difficult one right now in the world we're living in. Just very quickly, I'm going to share my screen to give you guys just an overview of the resources that First Nationals has put out for you guys, so that you, so coaches, y'all can look for those. So let me just share this real quickly, and I promise I will not speak too much this time. Okay. So basically there's two things there that you can see a picture of. It's the guidance for COVID-19 interruptions, and this can be found, all three of these things I'm going to talk about can be found on your First Nationals sign in. So you'll go to your First Nationals and you can find these things there. But the COVID interrupted guidelines, they have some tips for how to work with teams remotely and virtually, as well as what to do with teams that are socially distanced. They just have some best practices and tips. And then there's also from Let Go Education, a hygiene document that kind of talks about how the best ways to sanitize the Legos and equipment are. And then what's really cool is there's the Community Best Practices Board, which has coaches from all over, not just the country, but internationally as well, sharing what has worked for them. So that's a really great resource too. And I would spend some time going through that if I were you guys, just to get some tips and things like that. But we have our own panel today, so we're gonna hear from them. And this is really going to be a discussion, and we'd love to have your questions in the Q&A as well. But to kick us off, Venus, and I'm going to direct this to all of you guys, so get ready. Tell us what COVID-19 precautions that you guys are taking with your FLL Explore teams this year.
Sure. This year definitely has been an exception. There are a lot of new things that we have learned, but I've been really helpful with the information that FLL or FIRST has provided in terms of the documentation, and also making sure that, as the materials is exchanged, what kind of hygiene precautions that we can take. And so that has definitely been a great experience. All my teams personally, we've moved it online. So we've been incorporating a lot of good practices that we've documented at Wize Computing Academy. And I'll be happy to share more details about that with the rest of coaches as well. So they can also take advantage of that, how to plan a session, in terms of distribution of the material. So if you are doing a session online, how to make sure that, all your participants are engaged at the same time and they all get hands-on experience.
Okay, great. Vega, what are you guys doing? You're on mute.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, as I said it before, I only have 4 students working, and they're each on a corner of the room. They can collaborate because they can hear each other, and it's only us in the room. But touching, they just touch their own stuff. And the only issue that I have is that the set for this year, I only have 2. So those are going to have to be shared somehow. But as much as possible, they have their own device. They have their own little corner in the room with plexiglass and a lot of hand sanitizer.
Okay, great. Urbina, what are your thoughts on this?
Same thing as Mr. Vega said. We work for the same district. The district has been able to provide all of us with gallons of hand sanitizer. So we have plenty of that for them, and face masks in case the kids don't have any, the face coverings. And we're provided 2 sets of the build set to share with among our group of 4. So I think it's plenty of Legos to divide the 2 sets among the four kids, so they each have a good amount of Legos to build in the on the where they have to build. And like Mr. Vega said, everybody has their own iPads. So there, and then we also our especially our principal, she was able to buy us enough of the We Do kits where each kid could have one basically, and they can practice building those different things that you can build with the We Do kit, which is a lot of them. So each one can practice, and each one can code and with the We Do program that they have. And just keeping them separated, each in like Mr. Vega said, in a different corner, separated from each other. So they're all safe, and they're still just having fun, and being safe with it.
Great. So how are you incorporating the first, and we'll go Venus back to you, and then you guys can round robin it. How are y'all incorporating the core values into the COVID-19 precautions? How are you guys using those values that first taught us to kind of help navigate this COVID-19 landscape right now?
So personally, we have multiple teams that are participating in First Lego League Explore Challenge along with us. Even our Advice Computing Academy, our franchise locations are also running the same. So one thing that we look at is we decide the team composition, taking the FLL core values and skill set in mind. And we encourage the participation as a team and involve them in team activities. And, as I was mentioning in one of my earlier session as well, the team meeting guide comes with a lot of information about what introduction activities you can do, and keeping the session casual. So there's a fun element, even if it's online. The team members, they don't care about it. As far as we can create that fun environment as a coach, that is what I feel is what makes a difference, and also helps the team to be more innovative and creative, even if they're sitting behind a computer screen, and making use of the other information that's available on the First Lego League website in terms of what other activities that we can engage them, and improving on their social skills. That is also one thing that we emphasize a lot, that it's not just building your stuff, it's also about how you're going to talk about the creations that you're doing and the programming aspect of it. So we emphasize on that as much.
Great. Mr. Vega, what about you? How are you incorporating the core values into your COVID-19 precautions?
Well, we need to innovate. We need to find ways to problem solve the current situation. I mean, it's something that none of us were presented with before. So we as a team, we need to find a way to work around that. And teamwork. We all need to work together to be able to achieve what we need to do. And one challenge that presented this week is one of our members was sent home with the whole class because there was a case. So now we need to find a way to include that child into all that we're doing.
Okay, great. I think that's great. Innovating and teamwork. You can really pull those out, can't you, this year? Mr. Urbina, do you have anything you'd like to add?
One of the core values is teamwork, which is we are strong when we work together, but with this COVID, they can't be working together, not at the same time, actually, on the model. So yeah, it's just innovating. I'm still trying to figure out different ways or best practices to be able to engage them and they can for each of the core values. And I guess one of the core values is innovation. So we got to innovate, right? And try to find best ways to for them to all be included in each one of those core values. So that's about it. I mean, everybody else kind of said a lot of great things that that we can do for this thing, you know, with all this COVID stuff.
Great. Well, okay. Now a practical question. How often are y'all sanitizing so that they can share? How often do y'all have to sanitize everything that y'all are having the kids touch? Yeah, Victor.
In my school, the district sanitizes the classrooms every Wednesday, since I meet with them Mondays and Wednesdays. On Wednesdays, we just leave everything laid out in the classroom, so when they come in and sanitize, that gets sanitized.
Yeah. As Mr. Vega said, the district is doing like and they let us know like, oh, this day they're gonna sanitize, so leave all your stuff that needs to be sanitized out in open, in tables in open space where they can be sanitized.
Okay, and Venus, I see that you have an addition.
Sure. So giving a perspective of coaches who are thinking of running it online, the best practices that we follow in terms of sanitizing is every time the materials are exchanged between the team members, that's the expectation that they are sanitized before they are being shared with the next child, and also as they're received, they're also being shared. So we're taking, extra precautions, and that's where we've kind of, looped in our parents to make sure that they're helping us out, and that has definitely been a fantastic cooperation and the coordination between the families of the team members.
Great, thank you guys so much. Okay, I kind of want to, Venus, segue back into the virtual working with those teams. How do you keep all your team members connected and engaged when they're all virtual this year?
So making sure that we are all connected to each other without the involvement definitely has been one of the challenge, but we are taking help of the technology that's available. Of course, one thing that COVID has taught us is there are a lot of technology that's available, so we can achieve the same. It's just that, putting it to use and also knowing about that. Google Classroom has been a fantastic tool that we've been using in terms of kids submitting the work that has been given as a follow-up task, that maybe that is a research work, or them sharing about their ideas, submitting that using the videos. So other team members are also able to see that. So, kind of falling back on the core values of teamwork, even if we are virtual, we're still able to share the information, and the other team members are able to see what their inputs are from their fellow teammates. There are other tools that, we found very helpful. There's one of the tool called App Seesaw, where you can loop in the parents as well of what's happening in the classroom, and again use that as a tool to share the work that's been assigned to the team members. WhatsApp as well has been a really good tool that we've used. So, and those are all instant and secure communication. So that's something that we've used extensively. Other than that, ensuring that they know what to collaborate and what they have to do independently, that's been like, a key goal for us as a coach. And, you going back to our team meeting or engineering notebooks where they're documenting or creating a blueprint. So following what they designed, and after they have shared, and, whatever the inputs the coaches provide. So adhering to the plan has been really helpful, because they know what they have to work on, either they're in the Zoom session or off the Zoom session, when they're working independently at home. Team activities, creating slides and sharing those slides, presenting. So that has been a really great experience. Not only is that building the team collaboration skills, that is also helping the students or the team members to improve on their soft skills. So typically we would do the presentation part towards the tail end of the weeks as we're getting ready for the festival. But because we are doing it online, I feel that's kind of like, a blessing in disguise, because now they have to talk about that. And, that's been happening, talking or building on their soft skills has been a key from week one. And playing team games. So there are a lot of, interesting games that are available online. If we're not able to see each other in person, those introduction activities, we can do those things just playing together as a team, creating a leadership goal. So there's a fun element as well that team members look forward to coming to the team sessions, even if they're not meeting in person.
Well, great. Thank you so much for all of those thoughts. Those are all the questions that I have. Angela, do we have any questions in the chat for our panelists?
We actually do not have any additional questions for our panelists on this section. So that's going to wrap up our FLL Explore Virtual Coaches Conference today.